Hey there, welcome back to another update for MHC August Desert Village. So let's see what everybody did this week, or not this week, I'm sorry, episode 3, that's what we're on right now. I think there's just one person that I was waiting on and they don't have theirs up yet, so I'm gonna just include that one in with the episode 4, which hopefully will be, oh look, there's a slime, finally some action in the swamp. Let's see, so we'll look at, just in case we get some action in the swamp tonight, we'll put it right there. Okay, so first off we have C. Scott Play. He continued working on his trench moat, took a break to look for bones out in the desert, found an arrow but no bones, collected more sand and did some terraforming, ran across some bones unexpectedly and grew his tree with some bone meal, threw down some torches while doing a perimeter run, made his flint and steel and headed out to the little lava grotto, made his nether portal. I think he is the first officially to make his nether portal and head out to the nether. Talked a little about a pet peeve of his, players not placing torches so the viewers can see. I give that a big thumbs up. That's a big pet peeve of mine, although I know everybody has that moment if you don't have torches, or if you're just intent concentration, you forget to put them down. But remember that if it's dim in Minecraft, it's pitch black in YouTube. So lit the portal and hopped right in. He was the first to get to the nether. Yeah, good job on that. Gathered some quartz, some glowstone, scouted around a bit to see if there was a fortress nearby, and he did find a fortress nearby, along with a blaze spawner full of blazes and a bunch of other stuff. Wither skeletons, the gas started coming out at that time. Realized he didn't have the crucial weapon for success, which was a bow and arrow, for a successful fortress assault. Went back to the portal, playing a hot game of ping pong with a ghast before going to the overworld. And yeah, you should go watch his little ping pong game with the ghast, as I think he was down on health and hearts at the time. He's trying to run back. He's almost at his portal when it happened. I thought for sure that ghast was going to take out his portal. So after that we have John Fall 92 headed up and out to light up the other village. Almost failed the sand test while collecting sticks. After lighting the village, he started placing down cobble walls. At sunset, he headed back to the mine, grabbed some iron, and almost got a face full of sand this time. Continued collecting resources, failed the lava test while distracted by the glint of gold. But with his quick reflexes, he only suffered a little sizzle when he threw down his water bucket, and at that point it was the end of the episode. Then we have Dragon Feathers. Okay, she decided to head back to the villages, did a quick head count in the village with the libraries, headed to the other village, discovered some of the villagers outside the walls and on the rooftops. She put up some sand walls and little charcoal. And with the little charcoal that she had, she used that for torches to light up the village. Does a security check, has a very exciting moment around 16.59. So see, it seems like everybody, if they're going to have that exciting moment, it usually happens at the 16-minute mark. When she had a close call with a husk and her tree grew. So after that, and by that time it was the end of the episode, after that we have Lorelei. Lorelei decided to raise the walls, had an issue with the butcher who wanted to be free, did a perimeter check just before sundown to be sure no one could get in or out, and then headed down into the mine, made an iron sword, and finally there is peace in the village. Now for the other village. So we'll see if she has a better time with the other village getting everybody to cooperate and getting it secured. And then we have DJ Paul. Third time's a charm. We'll see. Collects cactus on his way to the village, puts down cactus walls into the night, raided the blacksmith. After a quick run through town, he took refuge in the church to find some peace and quiet from the mobs. He goes up to get an aerial view of the village and to let his health get back up. Yeah, I forget what, obviously after the 10-minute mark because it's nighttime, but yeah, he ran into some mobs that were putting the hurt on him and taking note of where he still needed to put down cactus walls, but he did survive the night. Let's see, although some villagers did not survive the night, and he had some funny conversations with the mobs and the villagers while he was standing up there taking note about what he needed to still do with the village. And after that we have Wandering Nerd. Started off sparring with a husk holding an iron sword. Killed the husk, but was unable to pry the sword from its cold, undead, dead fingers. Went to check on villagers and discovered mayhem in the butcher's shop. Yeah, you need to go see that. That's pretty early in the video. So after cleaning up the mess, he upgraded his stone sword to iron, finished checking on villagers, and then went down into his mine in search of coal. Found a cave, had a tussle with a skelly and a creeper, made short work of both, finally found a few bits of coal and iron, armored up, and headed back out to protect the villagers and place more cactus until morning. And the next person is episode 3 for TSG Gaming. Started off by digging up some cobble, made an iron pickaxe, planted a tree farm, went back down to gather more resources, found iron, redstone, and coal, went out and added some cobble wall to his sandstone wall for extra fortification. Once nighttime arrived, he did a run-through safety check, then chopped down some of his trees from the tree farm, made torches, and lit things up. He started a fight between a skelly and a spider at 15:57, see, 16-minute mark, but you want to go a little bit early so you can see how it started. At dawn, he released the blacksmith and bid everyone a good day. And then we have Dark Age Man. Pillared up to the surface, killing a zombie on the way, but not before the zombie got in a few hits. Got sidetracked by a large cave where he met a few spiders and a sneaky creeper. He found a large amount of iron and a ton of coal. Once his pockets were overflowing, he reached the surface right at sunset. He gingerly picked his way through the desert as he was down a third of his hearts and a third of his drumsticks. He must have been wearing some brute aftershave because the witches were coming out in droves. He was so close to getting to the village when he was ambushed around the 16-minute mark. You've got to go see his demise and watch the mobs dance on his corpse. Hee hee. After that we have Baker Bell Games. So Baker Bell headed towards the villages. She put torches down. She found the cartographer. She locked up all the smaller houses and spotted the outline of the dungeon. Yeah, she was standing on the outskirts of town and she's looking out talking about she'd seen somebody find the dungeon, and she sees the little square, you know, in the sand. So she ran out there, ran over and raided it. As the sun was setting, she tried to get everyone inside the larger houses, but the villagers were not having it. But she stood firm and finally got the last straggler into the church. She then ran over to the other village, the neighboring village, and made a mini base in one of the small houses, the one with the ladder. And she tidied up her inventory, made a bow and a fishing pole, which she used on a skeleton with an enchanted bow, but he put up quite a fight and got away just before the sun rose. Congratulations on 5 years of doing YouTube, Baker Bell, and may you have another 25 years left to go. She said she's still having fun with it, so she'll keep it up. Let's see, after that we have Rabbit Roars. Alright, the villager counter now says, still alive as far as I know. So she started off using bone blocks for bone meal, grew lots and lots of trees well into the night, which allowed her to use charcoal instead of trying to find tons of coal. She dug up some more resources, gave shout outs to Grandma's Gone Gaming and James Stansell, thanking them for the awesome tips that they had given her. Go see her episode so you can see what the tips were that they gave her. Yeah, Grandma's Gone Gaming, I know, is really good for tips. She's like the Minecraft guru. And then we have Grandma's Gone Gaming is next. And this is her unofficial series, her 3rd episode. Headed back towards the villages, stopped to do a little early morning fishing, reeled in some old leather boots, 2 salmon, and a regular fish, made it to the village, surveyed the current security, grabbed some food and replanted, and by sunset was corralling the villagers inside while battling husks and skellies at the same time. She went into the butcher's shop where she cooked up her fish and set up a little mini base. In the morning she cleaned out the husks and zombies from her doorways and said goodbye. Yeah, there was a lot of husks and zombies, and boy, they stick their arms way through those doors. As a matter of fact, I think at the back door, I think it was a husk, popped one of the villagers that got too close to the door. Let's see. After that we have Tim Obert, Captain Hook. Still searching for his crafting table, discovered his tree grew. He jogged over to the other village and absent-mindedly whacked a husk with a sapling. He forgot he had no weapon on him because he had no crafting bench to make a weapon. Ran to his little base, made an iron sword and wrecked the husk. Planted some trees and used bone meal on them, made charcoal and torches. Got everything pretty well lit up, good job on that. Once night fell, he went down to look for coal and cobble, discovered a hole-in-the-wall cave with a couple of smart-alecky skeletons and a witch hanging around. Resisting the temptation to start some trouble, he headed back up and made more torches to put around while he said goodbye. And that's the end of episode 3 update. Like I said, I think I'm still waiting on Honeysuckle to put out her episode 3. So let's see. Thank you for joining me. You might want to know what that dirt wall is. That's actually so I can get close-ups like this. Yeah, it was a little tip. I think I got it from Generic B and BOO. They were talking about how I forget what series they were doing, but they always started off with a nice close-up, and they said they put dirt up to be able to get the close-up. So I will see you guys for episode 4, update 4, on everybody's videos. Bye. Wait, I forgot. How could I forget? Bad Senator. And myself, for that matter. Okay, episode 3, Bad Senator. A little addendum to our episode updates here. Bad Senator started off with a very exciting morning surrounded by creepers and husks. He made a very daring escape traveling along the rooftops. Yeah, very good job jumping between those buildings. But they all caught up to him, and he did a very impressive job taking them out. He continued building his wall, found that the butcher is keeping husks in his pen out back. Oh dear. He headed out in search of the desert temple, stopped by a cave guarded by a skelly and a spider, found a lot of iron for his iron doors, excuse me, which he plans to use in the village. He heads out towards the temple again, but stops by another cave, finding more iron and a group comprised of a skelly, creeper, possibly a spider. I'm pretty sure I heard a spider. He used great strategy getting the creeper to blow everyone up, and then he headed back up to the surface. So I'm thinking he'll make it to the temple in the next episode, unless he finds another big cave. So then after that is me. Can't believe I forgot myself. Let me find the right page here. Okay, me. Okay, Granny's Got Game. I continued my search for the tree, finally came across the two trees together. I decided to dig down to look for some resources. I found one piece of coal. Can you believe this? I'm digging down. You know how people do, they step down and run across there's a piece of coal. I'm like, oh yeah. And usually you get at least what, 3 maybe at the least? And one single piece of coal. I head back up thinking it is morning because the music started, like the song that we're hearing now. But it is midnight, so I go back down in a different direction. I see a different spot in search of the lava pool that I heard earlier. So yeah, when I got down to the little coal piece, I could hear the popping of lava. So you know how that always goes. You go punching around trying to see if it's close to you, and then you can't find it. So I went up, moved over a couple of rows, and then went back down again. So I discovered a very nice secluded pool of lava with lots of iron to take, which I will do in the next episode. Why did I say I said which I'll do in episode 3? What I really meant was episode 4. So yeah, when I got up to the top of my stairs, I had a little squid swimming around in the water outside my little slab windows. So it's like a little squid aquarium. It's pretty cute. So now that is the end of update 3, and I will see you guys in the next update. Bye.